Welcome, everybody, to Sonderling Inc., episode 24. Hope you're having a good day. I have some players. Let's start with the one doing the recap for this week.
I was trying to figure out who that was, so I'm guessing it's me.
It's you.
I am Sir playing Grunthos, the weird, lovable little kobold rain.
I'm Introduced. I'm playing a human rogue called Horgold Wolfswift.
I am Holocall, playing a human fighter also called Holocall.
And I don't really know exactly when we started, but pretty early in the last session, we were traveling via rail towards Khartoum. And did some investigating in a sort of new pop-up town between Trav's town and some other town that's not named on the map.
Yeah, I should really name some more towns.
Right there.
Yep.
And there, Horgold and Hollock recognized a couple of Anya's lieutenants, I think they were. Pretty high ranking in her gang, company, whatever.
Organization.
And they wanted them to try and try and figure out where Anya went, because they were worried about her, I guess. Not quite sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we did, the Horgol at least agreed to keep an eye out, and we traveled onwards to Kartuk, did some message receiving and sending, met up at the something Weasel, I think. I can't remember the name of the inn we were staying at, but it's something Weasel. And I dropped a cliffhanger on us.
Yes. And you remember what that cliffhanger was?
I have a strange craving for iron.
All right. I believe there's also a promise of a demonstration, or was that me imagining things?
Demonstration of what?
The weird thing that happened last time you ate something iron.
No, I just said I had a weird craving, and that's where we...
All right. So you guys are hanging out in the... I don't know. He says something... Question, Weasel. I don't know why that's question marks. I don't remember what it was either. But yes, it is... I think we said it's early evening. Tuco at this point basically says, I'm out. This is too much. And heads out into the town. Off to do his own Tuco thing. Leaving the three of you staring at, well, either Tuco's departing back or Grunthos's innocent-looking question mark face. Does a dragon's face look innocent ever?
No, not really.
I didn't think so.
Just look at my avatar in Roll20. Does that look innocent?
Sly. We'll go with Sly. But, yeah.
Can you care to explain what you mean, like you crave for iron? It's not a normal diet.
No, I'm well aware of that. It's just that the last nearly a month, I've had a wicked wanting to eat iron, and I pick a coin out of my iron coin out of my pouch and show. Just shrug my shoulder.
That's not healthy.
Well, I felt great the first time I ate one, so there's that.
Grunthos, you start casually, like, unconsciously, like, fiddling with the coin in your hand, kind of doing that thing where people, like, roll a coin between their fingers. And I would like you to make a wisdom save, please. Oh, you're fine. Okay. So you notice that you're playing with it, and then you, like, that kind of thing where you're doing something unconsciously, and then you blink a couple times and realize you're doing it, and your hand flicks and puts the coin back into your coin pouch.
Yeah, I know that Borghild ate some iron when we fought her last and defeated her. I don't know. Maybe something similar happening to me.
Do you feel the urge to travel north?
No. Yes.
I don't quite remember. We had some talk about this. I don't know if it was in the temple. How Iron Seekers were made, or why they exist, or where they come from. I can't put the pieces together right now.
Give me knowledge, Fey, Hollock.
Knowledge Fey is what exactly?
It's an intelligence roll, plus if you have there should be a skill for it, I think. Is there
Nature, Arcana,
3.
Survival.
character sheet? Let me look at the skills.
That's all intelligence.
Oh, right. All right, so history or boy, there aren't just any generic knowledge skills, are there? Yeah, knowledge history. '15's pretty good. So you vaguely remember being told about a time, hundreds of years ago. Open this up. Get the date, actual, or get a rough date at least. Hundreds of years ago, at least. Timeline. Haha! That is 3 minutes reach. That's at 6,300. No, not even hundreds of years ago. About 100 years ago. 50. No, that's still wrong. Hold on. What? 65. Did 6512? 6513? So yeah, hundreds of years ago. Sorry, trying to get my own timeline straight in my head. When there were some evil artifacts going around, specifically a hammer, and the hammer basically created the spikes to gather iron unto itself. The artifact hammer was destroyed, but the spikes creating Iron Seekers were kind of like a disease in a sense. They spread kind of naturally by creating their own spikes and inserting them into people, and that creates Iron Seekers eventually.
Didn't we pick up some of those?
The spikes got left behind at the temple. But all
Ah,
dust,
okay.
dust or pebbles or whatever granules she had. I took along.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
From what you guys remember of Borghild, she had a spike driven through her left eye. You're fairly certain that it has to be internalized somehow.
So, with Grantos craving iron, it could be that it's a mini spike building inside of him?
Or he ate the dust or something?
I ate a coin, a regular coin that never was near her until maybe it was near the dust in the pouch.
Where is the dust at this point?
I pulled the dust out from the belt pouch, or pulled the pouch with the dust in it out and put it on the.
Maybe we need to be having a better vessel to carry this around than just a pouch. And I got nothing on me that will suffice, so
I grabbed the dust back. No. This is mine.
Are there any known materials that block magic?
Knowledge Arcana? Or the Arcana skill? Nothing you know of.
Are we sure the dust is a problem?
I have no idea. I'm freaking out.
Because dust is, I think, the weakest form of iron that can be.
well, he got it from somewhere.
Did he get injured by Borkild? I can't remember right now.
Oh yes, I did.
Could I have
Could I
everybody
have
make
ribbons?
an intelligence roll, please? See
From
if you
who?
remember something that I told you here a while back. Or see if your character remembers something I told you here a while back. Good enough. Um... Okay. Yeah.
The monk, was that one of the keepers, or the one of the people that stayed behind?
The gal who had lived there was like the main person there.
Ah, her. Sat said sent the message that the monk that was guarding the thing had gone crazy and become a seeker.
She also was in fight with Borkhead. Maybe
Yeah,
fighting them is like fighting something diseased and it's contagious.
So it all might be at risk.
I have no idea. This is
I think if I would be
completely new.
infected, my connection to the Fae would be slightly different, I think. I hope.
Hollock, you absolutely know that the Fae hate the Seekers, like abhor them, hate them. You would not be able to contact your patron if you were a Seeker.
Yay me.
Well, we could go back to the monastery to clear this out, but that's also what Grantos probably wants to do at this point.
I don't know what I want to do anymore. I'm just actually freaking out. Start pacing around the table, like nervously just walking. I actually haven't given that much thought to it. I do have the shoes I bought in the winter village thing, and I have some kind of tunic. I'm guessing some greenish tunic.
Okay. Okay. Trying to think how to.
Was it in the evening?
Yeah, it was in the evening, late afternoon, evening.
Well, maybe we should sleep an eye on it. Maybe we come up with some ideas.
Yeah. I just start trudging off to the room.
All right. Night falls. You want to join me in the side room there, Zerter?
I do that in front of Surtur's door, not mine.
To keep him in or to keep somebody else out?
Doesn't matter. It will go off.
Either way.
Yeah.
All right. Join me in the sideboard. Thank you. All right. So I would like you to give me a perception check, please, when you get ready for bed. And then, yep. I don't know how you roll so well. All right, so in the scales, kind of centered over just slightly to the left of the center of your chest. You perceive a small disc of metal that just kind of blends into your scales, and then you kind of brush that off unconsciously and get your night clothes on, get ready for bed. As you're falling asleep, you dream. You find yourself standing in like a city. Surrounding you are your children. You know they are your children, even though they are elves and humans and orcs and goblins, and you think there's even a dragon here somewhere in town, but you know for a fact that they are children of yours. And you have a sense of deep pride at the town you have made. Looking across the town, it is black with smoke as people take and forges work, and the glint of iron eyes stare back at you. You see a town the town you see before you is building an army. Women and children and women and children and men are all gearing up for war. Each person as they join the ranks of those leaving town are handed an iron spike about a foot long, about a foot long, half-inch around, tapered to a point. And you see the city of Kirsch in the distance beyond you. You know that's the city, and you know it's the last place that you need to take over to make this world yours. And an unearthly sense of pride grows within your chest. And then you feel beside you warmth. And you can't quite place it, and it gets hotter and hotter, and you smell the smell of burning flesh, and you are awakened. And your spear is beside you, hot enough that the bedclothes you are laying in and the sheets on the bed are singeing, and it is trying to as you wake up, it is giving you screaming at you to wake up and come out of it. And you are left with a not a complete memory of the dream, but a vague sense of pride and maybe a little bit of shame, and you're not exactly sure why. You get up, you get dressed. It is probably 5 a.m. at this point. You proceed to get ready for the day. The skin on your side healing up way more rapidly, and the spear acting just a little worried as you place it back into your everfull quiver, your quiver. It's kind of you're not sure if it's scared of you or if it's scared what it is scared of. You are clear of head and ready for your day. And let's go back to the main room. Did you need something else before I head back?
Yeah, con save. I'm still on DC. I left off with the first rolls on DC 10.
Okay. Yes, go ahead and roll it. DC 15 though. DC, you're fine.
Okay, now we can go back.
Okay. The night passes quietly for everybody. Well, for some people more quietly than others, but Hollick and Horgold, your night passes quietly. Your alarm never goes off, Horgold. It's morning. You guys can smell cooking eggs and bacon and bread rising up from the main part of the tavern below.
I'll go investigate the smell.
It is a hearty breakfast of rashers, thick rashers of heavily smoked bacon, chicken's eggs, and the bread is like a thick rye, very very coarse bread. Works well with the bacon. And the drink of choice is a oat stout, so it's like a thick, heavy breakfast.
I'll dig in.
Me too.
I've been digging in for a while.
So any ideas on the plan? What we're gonna do with Gruntus at this point? Because I want to cure him. He's little and cute.
The priests from the temple up north, they were of some kind of goddess. Do all the priests from this goddess are tasked with this Iron Seeker stuff? So we could find a nearer temple than the one in the north and ask them if they have some information?
We could, but maybe not say that Gruntus has this, because otherwise he probably will be locked up.
I found it. Basima was a goddess that protected the temple.
We can try that.
Is there a temple of Basima in this town?
There absolutely is. This Kartuk is the capital city of the Kingdom of Kartuk. Well, really, Empire of Kartuk at this point. Basima being the goddess of basically the start of winter and death. She has a major presence in kind of there's a like a main temple in the center of town with a very old graveyard. This is the place you are not buried here permanently. You are laid to rest, and then once the worms and bugs have had a chance to get rid of the squishy parts of the body, you are put into the ossuary. That's the word. And you guys, you live on this continent. You are familiar with the ossuary of Kartuk. It is. You're sure it's large and can't think of the right term. Elaborate? There we go. Basima is one of the main gods of Kartuk because it is far enough north that winters are long and cold, and you need to have a god on your side.
Is there a way to detect that Iron Seeker disease?
Knowledge, not knowledge, but let me look up your character sheet.
Maybe we should leave Grontos behind and ask the priest so that he does not get snatched away when he enters the temple like that.
Religion or medicine? Okay. With a 20 on religion,
Natural 20.
A natural 20, yep. You are certain that this is something that is, if you are looking for it specifically, it can be detected magically, because it affects, one of the things that you noticed about Borghild was that she was kind of a construct person, so she didn't breathe the same way a normal person breathes. She never got tired, that you noticed. So that is something that could be detected magically by a cleric or priest.
Yeah, and what they did in Auckland, where, whole streets would go black and all the magic would strangely go away and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's the way how they detect.
So we would be safe bringing Grontos with us.
If they're not looking for it, I don't think they will try to find it.
So we just have to package our questions the way that they do not get suspicious.
All right. Heading to the main temple of Basima.
I want to shop on the way there.
Sure. This town is, for a city that doesn't do as much external trade as, say, Auckland or Kirsch does, it has vibrant and large markets. So, like, the variety of stuff you might find in Kirsch is not available, but, like, very high quality made things are available here in Kartuk.
Well, I just want to find something that holds the dust that Gruntus has better than just a pouch. So maybe even a water skin would be more tightened or won't leak stuff. If you can find anything better than that, like a magic box or something for protection, then I will go for that. But depending on what I find on the way to the
Give me a d20 roll. Since there's no luck skill, we'll just see how lucky you are.
What a pouch it will be.
You buy a leather bag that has a tight sealing lid, and you go to, it's like, for whatever reason, the salesperson like talked about it's like a bag of holding, and you can hold more. It's bigger on the inside than the outside, and he fast talked you into it. And as you're leaving the place, you and have bought it, you go to like open the lid and you realize that the glue that like you're not sure if he swapped it out from the one that he had in his hand or what, but like the glue is holding the flap closed instead of holding like the lid on correctly, it's literally holding this thing closed. And as you look back, the guy is gone. He's just disappeared into the deep, like the crowd.
What did it cost?
It costs 2 brass. And at this point, you're very certain by looking at the build quality that it is not as magical as he said it was.
I'll just give it to a random kid or something.
the kid takes it and like turns it over a couple times and then gives you like almost hurt look. And then like Pete like starts trying to get the lid open and heads off into the crowd himself.
Yeah, I'll tell him. That's worth 2 bros.
All right, you guys arrive at the gate to the temple. Something that you had probably not seen in Kirsch or Orkland, actually, is there are so the walls of this place are bleached white. And you're thinking, oh, like whitewash sort of thing. As you get closer, you realize that this is like the thigh bones to cattle and horses and those sort of thing, like placed together in very intricate, like almost woven together so that they interlock. 6-foot high wall made of bones, and as you get closer and closer, you realize that so the leg bones of the animals are twisted together, and in the gaps you see leg bones of smaller animals or smaller bones from animals, and as you get closer, you realize that like very small, like it is decorated occasionally with like the skull of a mouse or a rat or a cat skull at a prominent place. And it is completely surrounding probably almost an entire city block. And it's a very morbid, or morbid's not even the right word. Because you've never been here before, you've never seen it before, it looks like creepy, but people like like walking past this place don't even like blink an eye at it. It is not, and you don't get the sense that there's anything evil going on with it. It's just the bones of thousands upon thousands of animals making up this place. And as you approach the gate, the arch of the gateway is made of the bones of sentient creatures, and there is probably 5 skulls at the very peak of the arch, and you're not sure what creature. I mean, they're from humans, or not humans. They're from sapient creatures, but you're not sure if they're human or orc or it's a little hard to tell. You might be able to tell with if you want to roll a medicine check, you probably could tell what kind of creature they're from, or not kind of creature, but you. Oh yeah, there you go. Medicine, good enough. So, you have a center on the top is human. Elf to one side of that, half elf to the other side of that. A orc skull to the side of the orc skull to the side of the half elf, and a half orc on the side of the elf.
I jokingly say to Gruntus, no kobolds yet. And point at what's up there.
Yeah.
As you
And
guys,
by the way, have I seen any kobolds in town?
you don't remember seeing any kobolds. But nobody is giving you nobody is looking askance at you. Nobody is like concerned as you pass through town. You have seen probably a dozen or more goblins. Just kind of popping in and out. Being smaller creatures that you catch a look of a short green skinned person. You think, orc kid? No. Shape of the head isn't right. Oh, it's a goblin. As you guys pass underneath the arch, on the backside of the arch, you see another skull that looks like human, but it isn't quite right, and you guys aren't sure what. There's 3 skulls here. Human in the center top. Nah, it's not actually quite human, but you guys don't know enough Eastbourne to really get it. Below that, as you're facing it, to your right is a goblin skull, and below that on the other side is a kobold skull.
There we go.
As you guys walk toward the temple, you see off to the side there is a couple of hearses. They don't have a horse tied to them currently, but you can see the stables for the hearses off to one side. And this is a hearse in the sense of it goes out to collect the body to bring it back. It's not the hearse that I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on a second. It is not the hearse that like you have in a long procession of people. It's not like fancy like that.
Like Monty Python's Bring Out Your Dead.
A little nicer than that. But near where the hearses are parked, you guys can see like there is a set of doors leading down into the ground, but the main temple, that's kind of off to your right. The main temple is in front of you guys, and it is a stone structure, and it is painted like it is like a marble or something structure, but it is painted a like almost happy blue color, and the very less foreboding than all of the bones and everything you guys saw as you were walking in here. And the main temple itself is like open and airy and fairly similar to other temples to Basima you guys have been in the past. And one of the people like sweeping notices you're sweeping, putting up candles or doing whatever else they're doing here in town. Sees you guys walk in and kind of heads back to a room, and female priestess, you're assuming by looking at her clothes, heads out of the back room and and smiles openly at you and says, "Gentlemen, how may Basima be of service this fine clean morning?"
Greetings. How knowledgeable are you about Iron Seekers?
She blinks at you and looks a little confused. I don't think I'm familiar at all about them. What is an Iron Seeker?
So that's a no.
I mean, I'm not. There might be somebody here who is, but is this a magical beast? Is it what is it?
It's kind of a construct, evil, and we are in a long-term investigation that had some of those, or one of those inside our focus of interest, and we need to know more to clear our investigation.
Well, why don't you follow me and we can go. I'll see if our librarian has anything, any books or scrolls on them. Come on, this way. And she leads you back into the temple. So there's this main open room that you probably funerals happen in, and any sort of clerical type stuff happen in, and she leads you back and behind the main stage and past a series of like offices and rooms, and then she leads you down a set of stairs, and you can feel like the room getting cooler. It's jade, so it is mid-spring. It wasn't like especially hot outside, but you do notice the air getting noticeably cooler, and also like the humidity is lowering down. It's definitely more. The air is more, I guess you'd call it wintry. That kind of cool, dry air that, say, the first day of the first day of winter you feel as you step outside your house in the morning. And she leads you into a fairly large library under the ground. It's a room. It's only 1 story tall, but you walk in and there are just rack upon rack upon rack of books, and there's like a wall that has a bunch of scrolls in it, and she walks over to there's a little set of tables off to the side there's somebody sitting at one of the tables, and she goes, "Oh shoot, I need a name. Hold on, NPCs. Do that one. That one. That is wrong. No, that's right. Eric, we have some people looking for knowledge here. Do you think you can help him out? And he is a large man wearing, again, some sort of priestly, like, leather vest and pants, and he looks up from the tome he's reading and looks at you guys and says, so what are you looking for?
Knowledge about Iron Seekers and how they reproduce, or how the infection they are stricken with reproduces.
He kind of scrunches his forehead together a little bit, and you see him casting a spell. Arcana can tell you what the spell is. Not sure. I think there's an equivalent. Nope. Anybody else gonna roll Arcana? That is also a nope.
I choose to fail.
Always an option. All right, so he casts a spell and he goes, well, there is something here, and he goes, he stands up, closes his book. He's got a bookmark in it, and he goes, follow me if you don't mind, and heads back into the racks of books. About 5-10 minutes later, he arrives at a long shelf, and he gets out a couple of tomes, hands them to the gal, and then he walks back to the end of the row and pulls out a couple of scrolls, and he goes, come on, let's go take a look. It's a little dark back here to really read much. And he walks you guys back up to the front table area. The books are, you notice that they don't have any title things along the side. And there is a notation on it that, yes, Grunthos speaks Draconic. Does anybody else speak Draconic?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, Grunthos, you reading the I guess the title on the front of the book, realize that all it is a set of dates, dating back about 150 years. And he opens it up, starts flipping through. He opens up, flip through, and after a minute or two, opens up page, and there is an illustration of it's a human shape. You see it's a caricature is not quite the word, old medicinal drawings from the 1700s, or drawings from the 1700s, stylized. That's what kind of I'm looking for. Stylized drawing of a human form. It shows spikes driven through the eyes and the shoulders and the chest. One spike headed down the spine, spikes in the hips and the shoulders, chest, backbone, eyes, and hips. There we go. And he goes, so Iron Seeker, this section, I believe, has all the information on that we would know about on them. And he unrolls a scroll, and he reads it over for a second, and they are dangerous, very dangerous constructs. He unsleeping, unbreathing, unrelenting.
That we know. We have encountered one of those.
He thumbs through it a little bit. This is written in Common, so all of you guys can read. Kind of points at a paragraph. Basically says, if the Iron Seeker manages to embed a shard of metal in any of these locations, he points at the illustration. If an Iron Seeker manages to shove a shard of metal into any of these locations, then over the course of the next depending on how big the shard of metal is, the smaller the shard, the longer it takes. But my brain will reset in a moment. Basically, over the next days to months, the spike will grow by stealing the iron out of the blood of the subject, and eventually will grow large enough to like start affecting the mind of the subject. The first symptoms that a person has been infected are a pica or pica. I don't actually know how to say it. GM doesn't know how to say the word, but the guy says it correctly. Desire to eat things that aren't food, and eventually culminating, if they can collect large enough amounts of iron, the person will basically, once the spike has grown large, like full size in the person's body, they will forge spikes out of other iron that they can find and drive the remainder of the necessary spikes into their own person, creating a full Iron Seeker. And he kind of looks at you. So is this what you were wondering about?
Excellent. This is helpful information to calculate our risk bonuses.
He what's that?
Any information about how to remove those early spikes?
He flips forward a couple pages. If the spike can be found early enough, it depends on where the spike is at. Because a spike through the eye into the brain, even if it is removed before it fully takes over a person's consciousness, I guess you would say, it's still a spike through the eye into the brain. It's probably going to be deadly. If the spike is through, say, a shoulder or the hip, then they can be removed relatively safely, but may need magical healing to restore the person's use of their limb.
So it is not fatal?
Well, it's not
It's
fatal.
not the icing?
It's not necessarily fatal.
I think we got enough information.
That was very helpful. Many thanks.
He's like, I hope you got enough. I'll keep reading through the books. There's several more here. If you need more, come back, later today or tomorrow. I might have even more information for you. There are some references elsewhere in the library, but mostly they like cross-reference to these tomes. So this should be most of the information at the very least.
If you find information about destroying the spikes, that would also be very helpful. So that they can be harmful to other beings.
Perception check from Horgold and Hollock, please.
Perception?
Yes. Horgold, you see Grunthos like he like tries to make he's trying to make himself look small, and he's sneaking out of the door to this place, like trying to look quiet, and you just catch him as he's opening up the door.
Well, I thank the gentleman of the information. I make a mental note about the book, how it looks, and I will follow Gruntus.
All right, you are able to follow him. He is definitely looking like he is trying to be hidden. You know what it looks like when somebody's trying to not be noticed. As
a rogue?
No,
No.
not at all. But you're able to follow him up and out of the temple, and you see him heading for the front gate. Not quite at a run, but definitely at a faster than normal pace. Hollick, you perceive Horgold heading out, but you didn't see Grunthos. Just kind of disappeared from you.
I follow Horgold.
All right.
I'm not trying to chase him, but just like keep up. Not like run after him, just keeping up with him at a distance.
Okay. There we go. So the one thing I do like about online sessions is it's really easy to pass notes.
I haven't got any.
I didn't say you had. All right, so you guys are back outside the temple. It is a bright, sunny, if somewhat cool spring day. You smell you smell like wood and charcoal and coal smoke in the air. In this part of town, it's a more like residential or shop type area. It's not like a really big industrial area. And off in the distance, kind of to your south, you see the river flowing, and surrounding, like on both sides of the river, you see large buildings with plumes of smoke coming up out of them, and people busily bustling around.
Horgold would, when I get out, would he probably notice strained breathing growing calmer as Gruntos gets a bit of distance from the library.
So, yeah, I know you get a little bit panicked there, but we probably need to remove something from your body.
Yeah, I heard the guy say that.
Do you know where you got hit? Well, you should have wounds there still, like scars and stuff like that.
She gave me a real wallop.
So how can I get the spike out and turn you back again?
And how do we find it? Which part it is? It's not like we have X-ray here, do we?
Well, we could go to like a cleric or something, so he might be able to find it, or even not to find it, but even keep Gruntus without pain and heal him up again later on.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna take over Grunthos for a couple minutes. You see Grunthos kind of when you suggest a cleric to make it easy and stuff, you see a look of panic cross his face. He reaches into his pouch, brings a iron coin to his mouth, basically like folds it in half with one hand, shoves it in his mouth, bites down hardly on it, and takes off at a dead run. All right, so I need to make a... What save is that? Wisdom save.
Wisdom.
All right. Sorry, Grunthos, I'm going to be running your character for just a little bit. Wisdom is... that, I believe. DC 14.
Yep.
All right, so must make a wisdom saving throw. It does so advantage if you... it would have done an advantage because it considers itself under attack. Does a... I need to...
Yeah, meet it, beat it.
Meet it, beat it. All right, so... So Grunthos takes off at a dead run. His speed is 30. What's your guys' speed?
30.
All right.
Me too.
All right. So we're gonna do a chase. I would like everybody, we're gonna make an opposed dexterity roll. Basically, how well do you cut through the town? Although Hollock, I will let you make a Arcana roll instead to use your spear as basically a broom to fly after him.
I got a bonus action to dash.
That will help a lot. So take advantage on your dexterity roll. We'll do it that way. All right. So if he beats, okay, so you need 3. We're basically playing judo. So 3 successes either way, and that person wins the fight. So roll the first. Oh, okay. It shouldn't be a dexterity save. It should just be a dexterity roll. Sorry. Wrong button. That one. DC +4. So roll D20 plus...
Click the name of dexterity in the...
Click the name of the dexterity. Okay. 8. All right. So Grunthos got an 8. Make your rolls, Horgold and Hollock. Horgold 1. Hollock, you leap up onto your spear, and you are able to keep pace. Actually, you start catching up, so you're able to get ahead. So, round the second. 17. Hollock, you are now flying directly over Horgold. Probably, so, people are about, or humans are about 6 feet tall. You're probably up in the air a total of about 8 feet from the ground. Grunthos, you're about 4 foot tall. How tall are you?
2'2".
So Hollock, Grunthos is about 6 feet below you. You can make an attack roll to basically leap down on him and were pretty much done with the chasing because you guys caught up real fast. So roll your attack to basically tackle him.
Attack is what?
So it would be
Grapple, I guess.
basically like grapple. Which is that listed on here?
No, it's strength against something, I think.
It's strength plus your proficiency bonus versus Grunthos' armor class, basically.
The strength roll plus 5 then for me.
Okay, roll it.
Yay!
So the slippery Grunthos gets away from your grapple, so you don't have him tackled, but you and Horgold now are on either side of him. Like, you're standing in front of him. Horgold is standing behind him. It wasn't a very long run, but it was at a dead sprint. Horgold, so you're like panting slightly. Hollick, you aren't because you were flying. But you notice that Grunthos is not at breathing at all, and his, like, the pupils of his eyes are fully dilated, like completely, almost you can't see any iris at all. In fact, it's so big that like the sclera around is not very visible at all. And even in daylight, you can see like the reflected, whatever the reflected light is, out of the back of somebody's eye. And it is shining a silver color. And he is going to draw. He's going to draw his short sword and swing at you, Hollick. 17 hit? Question mark?
Yes.
Right, take 7 damage. And it is. We'll just go through. Hollick, you're up next, and then Horgold, you'll go last. We're playing fast and loose with rules right now.
No problem.
So this is like combat now. Or...
Yes. Again, you may grapple him or attempt to grapple him again. Or he is definitely fighting you with lethal intent.
Difficult. I think I try to grapple him again.
Okay.
This is the safest for him, I think.
Roll your attack. Strength plus proficiency against his AC. Yep.
No.
Yep. You kind of dive into, but he is very small, and he kind of bats you away with the back of his sword. Horgold, you're up.
I point at him and say, "Hey, if anybody knows how to fix some broken hinges, my door's always open." And I cast Hideous Laughter.
Oh, I love it. core. All right, so that is a wisdom save again. He fails. All right. Everything he falls into a fit of laughter. He falls prone and is incapacitated for
1 minute.
1 minute. All right. So you are able to subdue him basically because you guys aren't trying to hurt him. You basically can you can tie his hands up and tie him up. And at this point you guys have a small crowd of people kind of around you looking on in curiosity and trying to figure out what in the world's going on. But the laughing Grunthos is rendered unable to move, and Grunthos, you have your character back when the laughter ends.
I remove anything he can eat that is iron. Or
Okay.
close to copper or stuff like that. So basically his money and the pouch with the iron.
Right.
And I'll tell him he will get it back.
Did you remove a coin for the one I ate?
Yep, I removed the coin from the one you ate.
I already did that.
Oh, well then I didn't do it again. You should have it back. Give me a charisma roll, please, Hollock.
Is that straight charisma or intimidation?
Intimidation works just fine. The crowd kind of is dispersed a little bit. People are kind of looking, still kind of do that rubbernecking thing, but they're not crowding around you guys anymore. And eventually they kind of move on. Grunthos' laughter kind of winds down, and he looks back at the pair of you with normal eyes again.
So what was that all about, buddy?
No, no, I don't want to. Let me go.
I'll look confused at Local.
Give me a perception check, Horgold and Hollock, from when you were tying Grunthos up. Ooh, that's really good. So, Hollock, as you were helping Horgold basically bind Grunthos's hands and feet, you noticed something, on his chest, hard in a way that skin is not.
I point to the place and say, Hollock, oh god, check this out, it does not feel normal.
I'll seek a quieter place, like not in the streets, but like in a side alleyway or something.
Okay.
And
He's
well, I
tiny.
think
He's
I'll
pretty
just
easy to
open his
carry.
armor. Yeah. Oh, he's strong though, but still.
Yes.
He's tied up.
He's tied up.
I want to see what's beneath his armor there.
Give me a opposed strength check. Horgold, you have advantage. Grunthos, you have disadvantage because you are tied up, Grunthos. So, Horgold, you are able to basically hold Grunthos still enough to get his chest plate off, his shirt open, and sitting just slightly to the left of center, well, your right, his left, is a iron disc about a quarter of an inch, basically just a little bit bigger around the tip of your finger, around, basically just to the left of Grunthos's breastbone. And it is, if you look around onto Grunthos's back, just next to Grunthos's spine ridges on his back, there is the very, very point of a sharp spike sticking out.
Okay, we found the location. What to do with it, Holocaust?
I'm not a medic. I don't know how this can go. I think we have to find a cleric healer.
Yeah, I think sadly that's the best idea. Yeah.
We can
Um,
cover us up. Is that some kind of work accident?
yeah. I try to. Well, streetwise is not a thing anymore. I try to find a cleric that does the job but doesn't talk, if you know what I mean.
Give me that. Streetwise isn't a thing anymore.
No.
Um,
I do have ET scanned and stuff like that. So I know like faulty signs and like this is healer for no question asked maybe. I don't.
give me a investigate roll. Oh yeah, you are able to find a no questions asked druid without too much trouble. City druid, kind of in a dark alley, nearer to the river, kind of in that part of town you guys saw before with the like industry going on. Grunthos, are you letting yourself be carried? Are you trying to walk? What are you doing? Trying to escape?
I'm feeling that I'm probably resisting.
All right.
Not sure I'm I think I'm looking for a chance to escape until I find out I'm just digging my heels in, making it as hard as possible to get me to where they want.
All right. I would like a stealth roll from Holocall, because you would know what guards are looking for, and you don't want to look like you're transporting a person against their will. That will be good enough. Charm person. All right, will save, please, Grunthos. Hey, you failed it. So you think that whatever Horgold tells you is the best idea for the next hour. Plenty of time.
Well, one spell left, so I hope so.
All right. So you guys work your way down to a druid that you saw advertised in Thief Sign as a no questions asked healer of beings. And as you're entering his place, you see, yes, him. He is kind of spindly and pale complexioned. Under his like eyes and around his mouth, you see evidence that perhaps he is not always sober, or often sober. He likes to imbibe his own stuff, and he is currently washing his hands at a small sink, and probably a goblin is getting up off of the table. There's like on the goblin's left chest is a like raw open wound with something like packed into it. And it's not, don't think it's cut. Think more like it's some sort of design, but it's like covering his entire left pectoral, and it is not bleeding, but there's like stuff packed into it. And the druid looks up at you guys and says, how can I help you, gentlemen? As the goblin gets down off the table and kind of woozily walks out the door.
We need an object removed from his chest.
And
like a spear.
I don't see a spear in his chest. He wanders over. All right, lay him on the table.
I'll point out what we want to be removed.
He looks at, can't be too deep in him. He's still breathing, right?
Look at his back.
He rolls Grunthos over and looks back at you and goes, wait, no. What? And
Will
then
removing this kill him?
I mean, how is he still alive?
So I take that as a yes.
I mean, it might kill him. Give me a minute. He lays his ear on Grunthos's chest, right next to the spike, and listens for a little bit. And well, his heart is beating, so that's a good sign. But he's not breathing, so that's not a good sign. And his and his complexion is good, so that's a good sign. But I mean, all right, so there's three of you. Well, there's two of you and the patient. And is the patient bound? He looks at Hollick.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry about it. All right. Well, what we do? I would like GM question here. Which of you two looks larger?
I guess Hollock.
All right. He's such a small guy. All right. He points at Hollick. Please, lay your body across his waist to hold him down to the table. He points at you, Horgold. I'll have you remove the object from his chest, and I will. I have at least one healing spell left today, so we should be able to get this out of him, I think. All right.
We can wait a day if that gives you more healing spells. I want the best with the patient.
I don't know if he will last another day because he should already be dead. Look, I've removed a lot of objects from a lot of people. This one will be worse than most of those, but I'm sure it'll be fine. All right. He kind of gets everybody in position, and he goes, and 1, and 2, and points at you, Horgold. Give me a strength check to attempt to pull the spike out.
Not dexterity.
No.
Oh.
13. All right. Grunthos, give me a strength check, and Hollock, it's going to be opposed strength to Hollock's. Basically, see how hard you flinch and whether or not Hollock could hold you. Oh, you're fine, Hollock. You can hold him down just fine.
So no roll.
Yeah, you roll it anyway, just in case you also get a 1, but I think your strength is higher than his. Oh, yeah. No problem at all. So you feel Grunthos like twitch beneath you, and the druid casts a spell, and Grunthos, you are currently at 0 hit points, and I need you to make a death saving throw, please. An 18. Yep, that's good enough. You like take a couple of shuddering breaths, and you watch as the magic from the druid takes effect. You can all see this. The magic from the druid takes effect, and the wound in Grunthos's chest like closes up before too much blood has come out of him. And Grunthos, you are more yourself than you have felt in days. And Horgold, I would like you to make a will save, please. Wisdom save, please. All right. And you guys, the druid kind of looks at you guys and says, is there anything else you guys are need?
Well, maybe he'll grunt us up a little bit.
Maybe he'll do what?
Well, he's almost dying.
I got some herbs that might be able to help, or at least will make him feel less in pain.
I take one of my healing potions out and give it to Gruntos.
Am I awake?
Yep, you are awake, and your chest is on fire.
I'm guessing I'm lucid enough to actually cast Healing Touch on myself.
You are, in fact, lucid enough to do that. All right. I need everybody. I need all 3 of you to make a wisdom saving throw, please. Grunthos, you think to yourself, wait a minute, what happened to the spike? Horgold and Hollock, you have no memory of the spike. Or that the spike existed, or that it was important.
That was all my level 2 slots in Cure Wound.
Nice. So
I put a cure light wounds into as well, so or cure healing potion. 2d4 plus 2, if you want to roll for that.
So, current state, Grunthos, you are the only person who has any memory of the spike's existence, even though it just came out of your chest.
I'm still probably holding it.
You are in. You are
I'm
not.
looking for it.
Give me a perception check, please. Or
I'm looking.
Investigate. Sure. So this guy, the druid is kind of he's trying to kind of get you guys out of his place of business. He is not asking for money, which is moderately strange. And Grunthos, as he's like trying to shove you guys out the door, you notice something glittering in this guy's like right hip.
Doggone it. I turned to Horgold and Hollock. You guys remember Borghild?
Yes.
She had spikes in her. One of those spikes was just pulled out of me and now is in him. And I point at the.
And the guy looks at you. I have no idea what you're talking about. And he's physically trying to shove you out. Upon having it pointed out to you, Horgold and Hollick, you can see it in the guy's right hip.
I tried to brute force my way back in, as in trying to keep him from pushing me out.
Give me a strength check, please. He won that. So he has you guys at the door. You have one round to do something, otherwise he is going to get the door closed.
I use my. Oh, okay.
Will save. He feels.
Wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom save. He feels like he is against you. He passes his save because he got to roll on advantage. So your charm person does not affect him.
Well, that was mine action. Holocaust. Over Horgold. No, Holocaust.
Okay. Then I use my Fey Presence. It's just a short charm, but maybe it is enough so that we can open the door again.
Charmed. All right.
Where's a wisdom saving throw again?
And what's the DC?
13, I think. Let me check. Yeah, 13.
So he passes that as well. You feel your presence wash over him as the door clicks closed. The door is, and then the bolt is thrown and it is locked.
Is this the only entrance to this room house?
You don't know.
I start looking for windows, back doors, front doors.
I set my familiar up, my oil, to check as well.
Okay. The owl is a little bit faster, but right about the same time as Grunthos spotting this guy leaving out of a back window into the alleyway beyond, and he takes off at a dead sprint out the alleyway.
Are there any people around?
There are a few, yep.
I may regret this, bud.
Ensnaring strike?
Yes, I am going to shoot at him.
Sure. Take a shot. Uh, 12. He didn't have any armor on. That'll hit. All right. Writhing mass of thorny vines, and target must make a strength saving throw or be restrained until the spell ends. All right. So roll his
DC
strength.
13.
He fails his strength roll, and he is tied to the ground by writhing vines coming up out of the ground.
I bolt up and try and, whenever I can, start trying to tie.
All right, you guys with that ensnaring strike, you guys can all get there. Like, it's not hard to catch back up to him now, and he is fighting against the vines. You guys all have an action to do something, and then he gets to make another strength save to try to get out.
So we're chasing him?
Yeah,
We've
he
caught
got
him.
Grunthos ensnared him.
Ah, cool.
So you have an action before he gets another strength save to basically try to escape the ensnaring.
Are we close?
Yeah, you're right there.
I'm basically getting ready to start tying him.
All right. You got to shoot the arrow. Why don't we start with Horgold? What are you up to? You got
Well,
manacles on you.
I got manacles, so I will try to equip those.
Give me a. He is ensnared. You can just do that. So he is. I'm assuming his feet are manacled. So it makes it harder
Good
for him to run
question.
away, or are you doing to his hand? What do you? Okay, just let me know.
What do I know about druid magic? My character.
What your character knows about druid magic? Generally, they can do nature-based spells, and some of them can turn themselves into other creatures. And some of them have like a familiar pet type thing.
Yeah, feet.
All right. So you manacle his feet. He's not going anywhere from that. Hollock.
How hard is it to knock someone unconscious?
You need to do non-lethal damage to them exceeding their HP.
So it would take a while.
Not necessarily. You think this guy, between the spike in his hip and the arrow that just entered his body and snared him down to the ground, he's not long for this. It wouldn't take that much to knock him out. Maybe a couple good punches.
Then I think that is the best course of action.
Okay.
So I roll the strength thing again.
Yeah. So an unarmed strike.
Right, I think I have it on my sheet somewhere.
Strength plus proficiency.
Yeah. That'll hit. Does 3 bludgeoning damage. Do you have multiple attacks in a round?
Yeah, yes, I do.
You can do that again. A 10 will also hit because he is unarmored and bound, and 6 damage, 9. He is unconscious.
Nice.
So
I do the tying up thing.
he is unconscious and tied. You guys,
So
it's
what
no
do I
longer
do?
turn order.
Now what to do? Bring him to the temple and tell the guy that informed us of the books, like this was why we needed the information, and please make sure that you keep an eye on the shard. Treat it as
Not
a lethal weapon or something.
not a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Holic, you now have an unconscious bound person who is not small. Give me another. I don't think stealth is even the right one this time. Give give me a roll with your proficiency bonus. Basically, your background is giving you a roll to basically hide from, make sure guards don't see you.
So D20 plus 3.
Yeah.
I will send my all out to make sure that if we turn a corner, that there's not guards and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So for a roll with advantage, because of the help of the owl and the Horgold. Oh yeah, you get back to the temple just fine. And as you guys enter, it's probably just early afternoon. The same gal kind of comes out. Oh, you're back and you brought a friend? What's going on?
Not a friend, a very dangerous being.
All right.
They got possessed by a magic iron seeker spike that needs to be removed and destroyed.
Oh. Sure. Come with me. She kind of looks at the guy. No, I swear he looks familiar.
Is a local druid.
Oh, his sister died here a couple years ago. That okay. Yep, come with me, please. We'll get that right out of him. No problem. So you guys were able to find what you needed from the information that we gave you earlier?
That helped a lot to track this one down.
Well, that's
We
good.
still, still need to have the information how to destroy it, but I hope you guys have it.
All right, here we go. And she leads you into kind of a little area. There's a bunch of rooms here. It's less of a hospital and more what you guys would consider like a hospice, maybe. There are several, like a couple of these rooms are occupied with a couple of geriatric people. Um, and they have like there's a table set out with dice in like a box to play dice and stuff. And she has you set him down on the table and summons heads off, and pretty soon there is a room. Like there are several people in the room, including the guy who was Eric, who had been down in the library before. And
I want them to be prepared that the spike can manipulate minds if it feels threatened.
well, that's good to know. All right, so Eric goes. So I'm gonna pull this out, and I would like everybody. So he points at one of the people. You go ahead and make sure that he doesn't suffer, and that we restore the working of his limbs, and he looks at the three of you, says, you guys watch to make sure nothing happens to me.
I
And
cast ensnaring strike right before.
so that
he
in
does
case you
it
have to shoot
and
something.
ready the bow.
All right, he gets to make a will save, and he gets to fail a will save. You guys have made the will save more recently enough that you see this happen. So you guys see him like pull the spike out of the hip of this guy. And he like completely, like his eyes completely lose focus on the spike, and he looks over, and they all get a save as well. Nope, just roll 3 more of them. 1, 2. Oh, one person passed. All right, so the gal who's watching you guys also sees this. But okay, so he pulls the spike out of the guy's hip and like loses focus on it and starts to turn to say something to the gal on his left, who is the one who had let you guys in and had been talking to you. She shouts something and points at his hand, and he moves to stab one of the guys like holding the person who's on the table down. Like he's just kind of reaching over and gonna stab the guy in the chest. Everybody gets 1 action. That'll hit. So you had ensnaring strike cast?
Yep. DC 13 strength save.
Oh, right.
Mage hand on the
So he breaks free of the vines. Mage hand. Manipulate an object still retrieve an item from a container. Pour contents of vial.
it's not that strong, but
So if the spike is knocked out of this guy's hand, you can use Mage Hand to pick it up, but you can't use it to take the object out of his hand. So we'll hold off on that for a minute. Hollick, what's
Okay.
your action?
How far away am I?
This room is maybe 20 feet on a side, and you're all in it. So you like could step forward. You're within like hands reach of this guy.
So I could try to grapple him again.
Yep.
Not again, but grapple him. Okay. Even if that was not very successful last time.
Roll strength check. All right, you grab a hold of this guy's hand and force the spike out of his hand. Horgold, your mage hand like swoops in and scoops this thing up. And then there's just kind of this tableau in the room as everybody is staring at like these vines as they're withering away. This guy has an arrow sticking out of probably his arm, like his other arm. The gal is like watching the spike with concern, and like time kind of restores, and you guys are all just kind of looking at each other. And then the guy who has an arrow in him is just kind of, ow, what in the what?
Sorry about the arrow. You were trying to stab someone with the spike.
I just point up to the spike.
That thing is deceitful, dangerous. I don't even know the right word.
Evil.
I'll accept evil. Be very. We need to put that somewhere it won't cause any further harm.
No, we need to destroy it.
Well, okay, that's fair. I tell you what. We can throw it into there is a we have a forge for our horses, for shoeing our horses here in the temple. We can start there and see if that's good enough, and if it's not, then we're gonna have to get somebody with a lot more knowledge than me to figure this out.
Did you learn anything in the books about destroying it?
I mean, the books weren't real specific. It didn't, it didn't say anything about them like being like an artifact. So I don't think that we're gonna have to take it to a volcano and throw it in or anything like that. There was some like almost snide notation about the Iron Seekers being a source of great wealth once they had been killed, but I think that was more gallows humor than anything else. Just okay. He casts a spell and the arrow like comes out of his arm and he heals up.
I go pick up the arrow.
Yeah, the arrow's fine. Heidi, you come with me. Everybody else stay here and make sure that our patient is comfortable. And he looks at you, Horgold. Don't let that thing come in contact with anybody. To the stables, I think is the right answer. He's kind of blinking, as you see his wound heal the rest of the way up.
I can keep my mage hand up, I guess.
Yeah, you can keep it.
Because it's a cantrip.
You have no problem keeping the mage hand going. So you guys arrive at the forge. There's currently a blacksmith in the place, creating like he's like beating a piece of bronze, looks like middling to low quality bronze into shape of a horseshoe. And he looks at all of you and Eric, Heidi, what's going on? They kind of look at you guys.
We have a very dangerous magic item thing that needs to be destroyed, and we do not know how, and we would like to try to use the forge to try to destroy it.
Okay, that's okay. And he takes the horseshoe out, kind of checks its shape a little bit, quenches it in a water bath that's like next to you, and then sets it on. There's just a kind of a post there that he sets it on. All right, I guess stick it in.
Well, if this melts in this fire, do we have any way to catch the liquid?
What is it made of?
We
Iron.
don't know. Iron, I guess.
My forge doesn't get hot enough to melt iron. I can tell you that right now. It should get hot enough to make it glow, which, I mean, I have pretty good luck forging metal that's glowing red. So as long as we get the iron up to that temperature, at least I can hit it with a hammer and see what happens. But
Maybe we
it's
can
definitely not
make
hot
it
enough to melt it.
less pointy this way.
All right. Let's see what we got. He takes the
Don't touch it with your hands or anything that comes close to it.
Well, put it in the forge. I'll get the bellows going, and we'll see how hot we can get this thing.
I'll put the mage hand into the forge.
Mage hand don't care about no forge heat.
Nope.
So he bells it up, and probably 5 minutes later, this like it is a coal fired forge, and he pumps the bells for a while, and this spike is it probably takes 5 minutes to bring it up to this like glowing red, like orange red and sparking temperature. And he's like kind of like holds a hammer up and points at the anvil.
I'll put the non-pointy part first on the anvil.
All right. And he brings the hammer down and strikes it, and I would like everybody to make a dexterity save, please. Followed by dexterity save. DC 10. He gets to make 1, 2. He fails. The other 2 get 2 as well. She passes and he fails. So Hollick and Horgold, you and Hilda or Heidi rather, you maintain your feet as a blast of energy lashes out from this thing. Grunthos and the other 2 are knocked prone. And this you like can there's this glowing iron rod basically left on the anvil, but it is like you can feel there was a kind of a mental itch in the back of your brain you guys could feel, and you didn't 100% realize it was there, that you now know is gone.
So heating it up and deforming the shape seems to have done the trick.
Yeah, probably. Still, I would treat this as a harmful thing and maybe stow it away when nobody can find it.
Heidi kind of looks at you guys and says, yeah, that seems like a really good idea. If you guys don't mind leaving it with us, we will
I look at
we'll put it in the ossuary where no one is likely to look.
I'll look at the rest of the party if they agree.
Sounds good.
It's probably a half a pound of
Sounds
iron.
like a plan.
It's a lot of money.
We have enough money.
If there's one thing I can depend on, it's the greed of my players. All right.
But I just argued for leaving it, so I'm not that greedy because we already have a lot.
I
Yeah.
look at Gruntus. What about the? No. I'll do something else. I won't look at him, of course, but I will do that. What about the dusts, Gruntus? You can reply in this message.
Grunthos, I would like to have you join me in the sideboard for just a second. I want to remind you of something that your character would now remember. All right. So, long time ago, as you guys were leaving the abbey, the ice temple, you kind of remember back as kind of once this thing, like the influence of it dropped off, you kind of remember back to oh shoot, I cannot remember her name, the monk, looking at you with irises that were, or like completely dilated eyes, and like reaching inside your shirt and poking you with something small, but you felt like a fog go over your mind, or you can remember a fog going over your mind, from that is just now clearing.
Doggone it. She was infected before we even got there.
All right, back to the main room. All right, sorry about that. I had to remind something to Grunthos that he didn't remember, that nobody else saw.
So, Grontos, what about the dust that we have?
I don't think that's dangerous, is the reply to your. And out loud to both of you, I say, I got nicked by the monk leaving the abbey where Borghild was going. We need to find that monk.
You guys had been told that she was killed by Satet when he got a message to you, because she had
He
gone crazy and attacked them.
Killed her. We need to go check on Satet and the temple. This is weird.
Well, the best thing to do that is, I think, go back to our. First, seek a little bit privacy so we can talk with the three of us.
Sure, they bid you farewell.
Yeah.
The guy who was working in the forge is like in the process of heating this thing up and beating it flat.
I'd say to him, be
No,
careful with that. That's dangerous.
Yeah,
no more explosions.
Nope.
And after we have some privacy, I will tell. Well, we can go back to conference and take the ship to the temple. I know it's cold, but we have some cold weather gear on it. So
I don't think we can reach all the way because there was no magic zone around it.
true.
There's a reason that we had to go through the Fae to basically find a pinhole leak in the
How large is this no magic zone?
I have no idea, but the only way to get stuff in and out is by regular shipment.
Well,
So we could land near the no magic zone and then travel the rest on foot.
Yeah.
Could do.
How high
As
does
long-
no magic
As
zone
long
reach?
as we can find where the no magic zone starts and we don't fly into it and we crash.
Well, at least we arrive at a destination.
Yeah, back to convergence it is.
Yeah, but it will be difficult to hide the ship there, though. So that's gonna be a problem.
And there are no people up there except for some priests, huh? So not much hiding needed.
True. Yeah, let's go with ship.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end there. We will pick back up next time with. We'll figure out between now and then exactly how much of a time skip we do. But thank you to my players. Thank you for everybody for watching. If you are interested in joining this game, come into my Discord, which I'm going to link one more time, or Zer just linked into the chat. I will put a link in the YouTube video as well. Or if you're interested in talking about the game, come talk to me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Simulator. Thanks everybody for watching. It's been great having you here. Bye!